New year means new stuff coming for whiskey. So really excited to talk about what some of the new releases for the year.
You know, we're bringing out some new ones. They're bringing back some old ones.
Love it.
Got a lot to talk about.
We do. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
I'm Zach.
And today we are going to talk about some new releases coming up. What the new year is bringing us.
You know, bringing back an oldie,
Yeah.
but hopefully another goodie.
Yeah.
And bringing out some crazy age statements from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
And then bringing what potentially could be a true banger out of Old Forester. Got a ton of good stuff going on.
It is definitely true. A lot of good stuff going on. Before we start, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Tell us kind of maybe what you've been looking at in bourbon and seeing around, what you are most anticipating about 2025, and do all the other things. Look at Patreon, look at Apple Podcasts. Look at Spotify, all the good things.
If it's a social media outside of X, just look for us on there.
Yeah, for sure.
No shot at X, just
Yeah.
I don't want to be on Twitter or X, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it. For sure. We don't want to be there. All right, so
We're gonna get so much hate off that, and I promise you it's not because of
I like
anything.
I like looking at X. I just don't want to actually interact on there at all.
Same. So really quick. So these are all supposed to be new releases for this year. I know at one point in time we talked sometimes releases get delayed, such as E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye. So
I feel like that was supposed to come out in like 2016, and it finally came out in 2024.
No kidding, right? So obviously we do assume some of these. I actually have a date on one of them when one should be released.
Yeah.
So we'll just, and I think actually technically one of them is released because like the first one we're going to talk about, the Penelope Havana, that's a double cast finished maple syrup barrels and rum barrels. Which that sounds a different kind of sweetness.
It does kind of, it gives me Rio vibes, and I hope that it doesn't.
Here's the thing about Rio. It has the, whatchamacallit that everybody hates, or I don't want to say everybody hates, but like a decent amount. Did you turn on the space heater that's right next to you?
I did. Your basement is cold.
The basement can't be cold. I get it. I saw his hand looking around. I'm like, that will burn you.
But it burns so good right now.
It burns so good right now.
Burns so good right now.
All right. Anyways, going back to the Penelope, I'll say this: the whatchamacallit finish that's in that, because it's like honey and
what is
Amarata? Ambarana. I always want to leave out the B.
Ambarana.
Here's the thing: that wasn't bad when
it was bad.
First had it.
No, it was bad.
Because that honey was there.
And I don't care who else tried to follow Penelope in the Ambarana. They were all bad.
No, I don't feel like they were first. Were they first?
It's the first one I tried.
We're arguing semantics. It doesn't really matter.
It was the first one I tried.
Here's the thing I'll say. I believe in Penelope. I believe in what they're doing. I think ever since, they were already doing really good stuff.
I do like maple barrels, so that gives me hope.
I don't love maple barrels, but I've been loving some good rum finish stuff.
Yeah. I like rum finish too.
Here's my point. I think Penelope has always done a pretty decent to great job. They were bought by Ross and Squibb, so now they got all this ultra-age stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they've gotten access to stuff, and we've seen, they're coming out with a new American Light Whiskey 17 years, spoiler warning.
Yeah, we did not put that on the list. We probably should have put it on the list.
Okay, so here's the thing. Whenever I did the list originally, I had 5 releases, and I was thinking to myself, man, there's not a lot of like big hitters. Like this was like one of the hitters on there. I was like, but normally I come out with stuff, and then we didn't do this video.
Yeah.
Within like a week later, everything else dropped on this list. So it's been whatever, including the American Light Whiskey 17 year. What I would say is they have done such a good job. I have faith in them. I think Penelope Estate stuff's been solid.
I agree with that.
So I am holding out faith.
I will be happy to drink this, I think.
Yes. Plus it has a cool vibe on the label.
Oh, I'm sure. The second one on the list is the Russell Reserve, bringing it back to the old school 13.
And this would be the true batch 5, I believe, because I think there's a lot of people who think batch 4 and batch 5 are two different batches, or just the same, just different bottling dates.
Yeah, just different bottling dates.
So this should be their batch 5, and from what I understand on the label, this should be a spring release.
So do you think they'll do a fall release?
No, I don't think they'll do multiples. Here's what I think what Wild Turkey will do. I think Wild Turkey wants to be able to do some kind of like Russell's Reserve age-stated release every year. Is what they want to do.
Yeah.
They can't do a 15 every year because they still have the barrels.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, they still have enough barrels for it. So I think they're going to do 13. Like they're probably one of the handful of distilleries that really have some ultra age sitting back.
Yeah.
That can do such a big release like this. So I think we'll see 13, for however many years that is and then we'll see a 15 year, then we'll go back to 13 and we'll just keep going.
I'm sure they're holding some back so they can get up to like a 17 to a 20 year.
Oh, they did like a 20-year Russell's Reserve?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The possibilities. All right, next. This is the one, whenever I seen it, it was bringing me back to a bottle that got me in trouble a lot. Not a lot, but, got me enough trouble. The next one's going to be a 117 series. This is the Prohibition Era Still Proof. It's going to be 130 proof.
Ooh.
So think of, think of what Old Forester would be in a batch, about 130 proof. Some of you all already know what 125 proof Old Forester in a batch tastes like.
Some of you do.
Some of you do.
I don't.
Shut your mouth. Yes, you were one of the first ones.
I feel like I should taste it again. Make sure I
probably
remember
will.
what it tastes like.
Here's the thing. I have got ridiculous hopes up for this bottle. I doubt it lives up to it. Like, to me, for you all who don't know what, like, the batch proof of this stuff can taste like, this, to me, has the vibes of E.H. Taylor barrel proof. Like, that internally is how much hype I'm building up. So I doubt it lives up to it.
You just don't get 130 proof Old Forester very often.
Yes. So I am hoping that it can get up to that because, again, I just know how good that 125 proof batch is.
Yeah.
So
I get you. I hear what you're throwing out. All right. The next one on the list is the Weller 18 year. You don't have to adjust your dial. You are correct. You hear it correctly. Weller 18 year, coming in at a whopping 90 proof. I don't even know that we have to hype this up very much. This is going to sell like hotcakes. I don't know how many bottles they're going to have of it, but it won't be enough. Right?
I don't know. It's going to go one of two ways. They're going to mass produce it. There's going to be a ton of it. It's going to be a one-off. It'd be like a ton of it, right? Because the tricky thing about Buffalo Trace, they always have a lot more of stuff than what you think. Yeah. Like, they honestly really do. I know it sounds ridiculous saying that, but like a standard batch of Stag is like around 10 to 12,000 bottles.
Yeah.
So that's actually a lot more than what people think. And then they release it 2 to 4 times a year at this point.
True.
So that's actually a lot of bottles. Same thing with GTS. Like, GTS, a lot more bottles than what you think. With all that being said, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to go the Daniel Weller route, the Weller Millennium route,
because we've not seen any MSRP on it, correct?
Nope, haven't heard, haven't seen. I reached out to one person I know down there at Buffalo Trace, and they wouldn't tell me.
So no one really knows if it's going to look like the Weller Vertical, or if it's going to be like a one-off, like the Daniel or the
I am
Millennium.
Assuming it's a one-off, but I don't. I would think that would be a safer bet than not, but I don't know 100%.
I think it'd be cooler if it was in the vertical set.
Lord. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Here's the thing. I forget. How old is WLW? WLW is like, what, 15, 16 years old?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But, and here's the other thing I will say. They are proofing it down to 90 proof. So, they're going to stretch that a lot more than what people think as well. So, it'll be interesting. I'm more curious about the price tag on it. I'm more curious about the availability of it and all of that kind of fun stuff. So, lastly, and this is the one too that this is also going to be tricky because we're going to stick with Buffalo Trace on this one. This is an E.H. Taylor Distillers Council bottle and bond. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Here's the thing. Could that be your next like 4-grain, seasoned oak, grain against the gods, all that stuff? Sure. Could that be a special release for like the distillery and the friends of the distillery? Yes, because sometimes those labels, by the way, we got all these labels from Coming Whiskey on Instagram. If you're not following them, go check them out. They're a great channel, great people over there.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm kind of curious, and I brought it up here just because I kind of want to see what that looks like. Because could that be basically like an employee bottle for them? Because it's kind of a weird name.
It is a weird name.
So, and by the way, I'm just speculating. I don't know. It could be a normal release. It's an odd name.
It really is.
Like, how many Distillers Council people are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
it just has black cloak, face mask, standing around a fire feel to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So who knows?
I really don't. I really don't. I'm hoping that somebody reaches out to us and they're like, "Hey, this is what it is."
This is what it is. We would love. We would love to know. I mean, for sure.
It'll probably taste great.
It probably will.
Most of these, honestly, I have faith that will taste really good.
Yeah, I generally do too. If I had to look at this list, and the one I would be most hype about would probably be that 117 as well.
I am too.
Yeah,
and it's probably going to let me down. Because it'll probably still be good, but it'll probably let me down.
It won't be,
because I'm thinking of the Old Forester employee bottle.
Yeah. Oof.
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Can we proof the employee bottle up to 5 more proof for us, please?
Just give me like a whole bunch of birthday bourbon barrels and we'll figure it out.
All right. Tell us what you're excited about. Tell us what bourbon's on the horizon, or just, as far as bourbon goes in the bourbon world, what you're excited about for 2025. I'm excited that Heaven Hill's opening up their new facility and stuff like that. I think that's going to add an element to Heaven Hill that just maybe is interesting. We'll probably talk about it in another video anyway. So,
sure.
So I won't say anything else about it. So just tell us what you're excited about, and until next time,
we'll see you.
We'll see you.